Before the world goes quiet, before the lights are turned low, before your eyes begin to feel heavy, there is something you should know. Not all lights live in the sky. Some hide in memories. Some rest in kind words. Some wait patiently for children who notice small things, like how goodbye can feel big, or how love doesn't disappear when someone is gone. This is a story about one of those lights. It is about a girl who listened when the night whispered, about a lantern that knew her name, and about the soft magic that appears when a heart learns how to remember and how to care. So get comfortable, let the day drift away, and if you feel something warm while you listen, that's just the light finding you too.
The Lantern That Knew Her Name. In the quiet town of Maplewood, nights arrived gently. Street lights hummed like they were humming lullabies. Porch swings creaked in slow rhythms, and the air always smelled a little like pine trees and warm bread. Maplewood was the kind of place where neighbors waved, dogs knew every sidewalk, and the stars came out early just to watch. In a small blue house at the end of Willow Lane lived a girl named Emma Harper. Emma was 8 years old, with soft brown hair that never stayed tied for long, and a heart that felt things very deeply. She noticed small things, like how her mom sighed differently on tired days, or how the moon looked lonely when clouds drifted past it. Tonight, Emma was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. Her blanket was tucked around her like a hug, but her thoughts felt restless. "Can't sleep?" her mom asked softly from the doorway. Emma shook her head. Her mom stepped in and sat on the edge of the bed, brushing Emma's hair back gently. "Big thoughts again?" Emma nodded. "I keep thinking about Grandma." Her mom smiled, but her eyes looked shiny, like they were holding memories. "Me too. Grandma used to live in the yellow house across the park. She baked cinnamon cookies, told stories that never quite ended the same way twice, and said things like, 'Some lights never go out, they just move.' But Grandma wasn't in the yellow house anymore. She was somewhere else now." Her mom kissed Emma's forehead. "Try to rest, okay? Tomorrow will be a good day." After the light was turned off and the door clicked closed, Emma lay quietly. The house settled around her. Tick, creak, whoosh. Then a glow. Not from her nightlight, not from the moon. It was coming from outside. Emma sat up slowly and tiptoed to the window. Down in the backyard, near the old oak tree, something warm and golden flickered, like a tiny star that had forgotten how to stay in the sky. It floated. Emma's breath caught. The light drifted closer, hovering just above the grass. It wasn't bright enough to hurt her eyes, just soft like candlelight wrapped in kindness. Then she heard it, a voice, not loud, not scary, just gentle. Emma. Her name. Emma's heart fluttered, but she didn't feel afraid. She slipped on her slippers, opened the back door quietly, and stepped outside. The night air hugged her skin. Crickets paused, as if listening. The glowing light slowly shaped itself into something familiar. A lantern. An old-fashioned one, like the kind in storybooks. Its glass glowed golden, and tiny shapes shimmered inside. Memories, maybe, or dreams. The lantern bobbed slightly, as if greeting her. "Hello?" Emma whispered. The lantern's light pulsed softly. "I've been waiting for you," the voice said. Not from the lantern exactly, but through it. Emma swallowed. Waiting, why? Because you remember, the lantern replied. Emma thought of Grandma's stories, of her laugh, of the way she said lights had places to go. Am I dreaming? Emma asked. The lantern tilted as if smiling. Not exactly, but you are awake in the way that matters. The lantern drifted toward the old oak tree, the old one Grandma used to sit under when the sun was too bright. Come, it said, there are places that need remembering and hearts that need a little light. Emma hesitated only for a moment, then she followed. As she stepped closer to the lantern, the world felt quieter, softer, like the night itself was holding its breath. And somewhere deep inside, Emma felt something warm settle into her chest, like coming home. The lantern floated ahead of Emma, its golden light brushing softly against the grass as if the ground itself mattered. The old oak tree stood tall and quiet, its branches stretching like gentle arms toward the stars. Emma had played under it many times, climbed it, leaned against it, listened to Grandma's stories beneath its shade. But tonight, something was different. The lantern hovered near the tree's trunk, and suddenly the bark began to shimmer. Lines of light traced patterns through the wood, glowing softly like veins filled with starlight. Emma gasped. The tree is glowing. Yes, the lantern said kindly, because you're noticing. A warm breeze circled around Emma's ankles. The night didn't feel cold anymore. It felt welcoming. Slowly, a doorway appeared in the oak tree. Not a real door with hinges and a handle, but a space shaped like one, made of light and shadow. Inside it, Emma could see something moving, like pages turning in a book. Emma's hands curled into her pajama sleeves. What's in there? The lantern drifted closer to her. A path, it replied, one that only opens when someone is ready to remember and to hope. Emma thought of Grandma again, of missing her, of wishing she could hear her voice just one more time. I miss her, Emma whispered. The lantern's glow softened. Missing is another way of loving. Emma felt her chest tighten, then ease, like when you cry a little and feel better afterward. The doorway widened. Emma took a step forward. As soon as she crossed the edge of the glowing doorway, the world changed. Not suddenly, not loudly, but gently, like falling asleep. The grass beneath her feet turned into smooth wooden floorboards. The air smelled like cinnamon and old books. The lantern floated beside her as the space around them became a hallway, long and curved, with walls made of soft, glowing light. Along the walls were windows, each showing a different scene. Emma stopped at the first window. Inside it, she saw herself, smaller, maybe 5 years old, sitting at a kitchen table while Grandma rolled dough. "You always added too much flour," Grandma said in the memory, laughing. Emma smiled without meaning to. The lantern hovered closer. "These are moments," it explained. "They don't disappear, they wait." Emma walked slowly down the hallway, peeking into the windows. There was the day Grandma taught her how to ride a bike, the night they watched fireworks wrapped in the same blanket, the afternoon Emma felt sad for no reason, and Grandma didn't try to fix it, just held her hand. Emma's eyes felt warm. "Why are you showing me this?" she asked quietly. The lantern paused in front of her, glowing brighter for a moment. "Because some children think memories hurt too much to touch, but memories are bridges, not walls." They reached the end of the hallway. There, a final window waited, but it was dimmer than the rest. Emma leaned closer. Inside, she saw Grandma sitting alone on a bench under the oak tree. The leaves above her glowed softly, just like tonight. Grandma looked up and smiled. "Emma," Grandma said, her voice gentle, familiar. Emma's breath caught. "Grandma?" The lantern's glow wrapped around Emma like a warm blanket. "You cannot stay long, but you can listen." Inside the window, Grandma patted the empty space beside her. "Sweetheart, I know you think goodbye means gone, but love doesn't know how to leave." Emma felt her chest tighten, then ease, like when you cry a little and feel better afterward. "I still talk to you," Emma whispered. Grandma laughed softly. "I know, I hear you." Emma pressed her hand against the glowing window. It felt warm. "Whenever you're kind, whenever you remember, I'm right there." The window began to glow brighter, then slowly faded, like a sunset easing into night. Emma sniffed. The lantern drifted back toward the doorway of light. Some lights stay, and some guide you back. The hallway softened, the windows dimmed, and the wooden floor slowly turned back to grass. Emma found herself once again under the oak tree in her backyard. The lantern floated in front of her, glowing steadily. "You did very well," it said. Emma hugged herself. "Will I see you again?" The lantern's light flickered, playful and warm. "Whenever you need reminding." The glow slowly lifted into the air, rising like a firefly toward the stars. Emma stood quietly for a moment. Then she turned and walked back toward the house. Her bed felt extra warm when she climbed in. As her eyes closed, Emma smiled. The night felt less lonely now. Morning came to Maplewood, wrapped in pale sunlight. Emma woke up slowly, the way you do after a good dream, when you're not sure where the dream ends and the day begins. For a moment, she thought the lantern might still be glowing in her room. But there was only her bookshelf, her window, and the soft hum of the town waking up. Still, something felt different, calmer. At breakfast, Emma noticed her mom humming while she poured orange juice. "You're smiling," her mom said. Emma shrugged, then smiled wider. "I had a nice dream." Her mom brushed her hair back. "The best kind." Emma didn't say more. Some things felt too special to explain. At school, the day moved along like usual. Reading time, math, recess. But Emma felt more aware of everything. The way the clouds drifted, the way leaves danced when the wind passed through them. Then she noticed Liam. Liam sat 2 desks over. He was quiet and kept his hood up, even indoors. At recess, he stayed near the fence, tracing lines in the dirt with his shoe. Emma remembered something Grandma used to say. When someone is very quiet, listen closer. During art class, Emma saw it. A tiny glow. Not bright, not floating. Just a faint shimmer around Liam's desk, like the lantern's light had forgotten how to shine properly. Emma's heart beat faster. She leaned closer and whispered, "Do you see that?" Liam shook his head without looking. Emma hesitated, then did something brave. "Do you want to sit with me?" Liam's pencil stopped moving. He shrugged. "I guess." They sat together during free reading. At first, neither of them spoke. Then Emma said, "I like your drawing." Liam blinked. "Do you?" She nodded. "It looks like a place someone could feel safe." Liam swallowed. The glow around him flickered just a little brighter. "My dad moved away. I don't see him much anymore." Emma didn't know what to say, so she did what Grandma would have done. She listened. After school, the sky grew soft and pink. Emma walked home slowly, thinking about Liam and the quiet glow she'd seen. That night, when the house had settled and the moon peeked through her window, Emma felt it again, a warmth. She slipped out of bed and padded to the backyard. The lantern was there, floating near the oak tree, glowing just as gently as before. "You came back," Emma whispered. The lantern bobbed happily. "You noticed someone else." Emma hugged her arms. Liam felt sad. "Yes," the lantern said, "and you sat with him." "I didn't fix anything," Emma said. The lantern glowed brighter. Light is not for fixing, it is for sharing. Emma thought for a moment. "Is that why you showed me the memories?" "So you would know that kindness carries light forward." The lantern drifted closer to Emma, and for a moment she felt its warmth settle in her chest, right where missing used to hurt the most. There are many lanterns, Some are seen, some are felt, some are carried by children like you. Emma smiled. What happens when people forget? She asked. The lantern's glow dimmed slightly, but did not fade. Then someone remembers for them. A breeze rustled the oak tree, and the lantern began to rise. Will I always see you? Emma asked. The lantern paused in midair. You won't always need to. Emma nodded. Somehow that made sense. She watched the light lift into the sky until it blended with the stars. Back in bed, Emma felt peaceful. She thought of Grandma, of Liam, of the way light could move from one heart to another without making a sound. Her eyes grew heavy, and this time, sleep came easily.
Autumn arrived in Maplewood quietly. Leaves turned gold and red, sidewalks filled with soft crunching sounds, and sweaters came out of closets smelling like warm memories. The oak tree in Emma's backyard shed its leaves slowly, like it wasn't in a hurry to say goodbye. Emma still thought about the lantern. Not every night, but often. Sometimes when she helped her mom without being asked. Sometimes when she sat beside someone who looked lonely. Sometimes when she felt a soft warmth in her chest for no clear reason. The lantern didn't always appear anymore, but its feeling did. One afternoon, Emma came home from school quieter than usual. Her mom noticed. Everything okay, sweetheart? Emma nodded, then shook her head. Mrs. Reynolds said she's moving away. She won't be our neighbor anymore. Mrs. Reynolds lived next door. She waved every morning and left chalk drawings on the sidewalk for kids walking by. Emma felt that familiar ache, the one that came when things changed. That night, the sky was cloudy, no stars, no moon. Emma went to the backyard anyway. The oak tree stood dark and still. For the first time, the lantern did not come. Emma felt her chest tighten. "Hello?" she whispered. Only wind answered. She sat down under the tree and hugged her knees. "I thought maybe you'd be here," she said softly. The ground felt cool beneath her hands. Then Emma remembered Grandma's words. Some lights never go out, they just move. Emma closed her eyes. She thought about Mrs. Reynolds and her chalk drawings, about Leon smiling more at school, about Grandma's laugh. Emma took a deep breath, and then she felt it, not floating, not glowing outside her, but warm inside. Emma opened her eyes. Nothing in the yard had changed, but she had. She stood up and pressed her hand against her chest. The light wasn't something that visited anymore. It was something she carried. Emma smiled, a small, certain smile. The next morning, Emma knocked on Mrs. Reynolds' door with a card she had made. Inside, she had drawn a lantern and written, "So you won't forget us. We won't forget you." Mrs. Reynolds hugged her for a long time. At school, Emma noticed another quiet kid at the lunch table and scooted over to make space. The glow passed on. That night, as Emma lay in bed, her mom tucked her in and kissed her forehead. "You've grown," her mom said softly. Emma yawned.
A little. Outside, the oak tree swayed gently, and far above Maplewood, soft golden light drifted among the stars, not guiding anymore, but watching. Emma closed her eyes. She wasn't lonely. She was part of something bright. And somewhere, Grandma smiled.